What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft and how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
And I think right now, all we're doing is surviving Donald Trump. 100 days later, what happened? What happened? It seems like the country has changed dramatically in just a short amount of time. And there's no turning back. A lot of the damage done, it's permanent. So we have seen Donald Trump do a lot of things in his first 100 days. And it seems like those 100 days, each one was filled with drama. So he came into office signing more than 100 executive orders in just a 3-month period. Wow. So we have seen a lot of things unravel right before our eyes. And one of the biggest things we have seen are the deportations. It is something that Donald Trump is doing that many of the citizens got behind him on. And that was not the only thing, it was so much more to Donald Trump's term. Now, some, yeah, I mean, like the deportations, yeah, that makes sense. But there were a lot of things that just did not make sense. The tariffs. The tariffs, in my opinion, did more harm than good. And you see, we are probably a week away from empty shelves. They're saying there are virtually no ships coming into the ports from China. And when the ships stop coming, the shelves are going to empty real fast. Doge. I just don't see how Donald Trump was able to bring in Elon Musk, who could not even pass a security clearance, but he had power, in my opinion, that he never should have had. And Doge did not make anything better, y'all. And they're starting to admit that. Doge did not make anything better in this government. In fact, it made things worse. And everything they did was not even cost effective. Okay. And it was and I still believe it's an unauthorized group headed by Elon Musk, and all of the firings and taking over data. It has been crazy dealing with that. Donald Trump falling out with allies in Europe, Canada, Mexico, and upsetting the Canadians by saying that Canada will be the 51st state. Upsetting the people of Greenland, saying he wants to take over Greenland. And you know what? I was looking at the demographics up in Greenland. And we know it's primarily white. And there's also natives there, what people they call Native Americans. Well, ladies and gentlemen, their birth rate is very low. It's low in Canada too. So Donald Trump wanted to get Greenland and Canada to try to increase the number of white people. But after I looked at the data, Greenland only had 729 births in 2024. So they're declining, just like all of these other places are declining. So even if Donald Trump got Greenland and got Canada, it would really be temporary because their numbers are falling as fast as the numbers are here in America. So it would just be a temporary fix. It definitely wouldn't be permanent, but they're not having babies like that in Greenland. In fact, their birth rate drops off every single year. And 729 births, that's really not a lot at all. So Donald Trump ruining partnerships with the EU and throwing tariffs on them, trying to force them to buy more gas from the US, gas and oil. And that is not working out so well at all. You know, all it did was anger people. Donald Trump has angered the world right now, and Canada as well, who used to be probably the closest US ally, and that relationship is now strained. So, USAID was probably one of the first federal agencies to get shut down. I mean, they shut the entire thing down. Um, and I mean, just a month ago, Donald Trump pretty much cut everybody off from FEMA. So even if you're a red state, right now you can't get no help from the federal government. Donald Trump will not release any funds to help states that are going through natural disasters. And we are headed towards the hurricane season. And y'all, these storms have become more treacherous each and every year, but he does not want to release anything for that. So a lot of the farmers suffered when USAID closed. They lost a lot of their contracts that they used to have through that, providing food worldwide, and that is all gone. Now, Donald Trump, it's just talking about how Donald Trump has denied due process to the immigrants. Now, he said they were just sending the criminals over. No, they said 70% of them are not even criminals, but they're stuck over there now. The U.S. Treasury Department took a hit. Doge went in there, stormed the building, threw people out, fired people, got a hold of the data. All of these acts were unauthorized. And of course, people were upset because, people don't want their data shown to Elon Musk. So they called themselves downsizing uh, the US Treasury, and they went on to other agencies and did the same thing, stormed in, took over Department of Labor, ran people out of there, you know. And Donald Trump, to this very day, is ignoring court orders. That is another thing that has happened. And we can't forget how Donald Trump pardoned the January 6th insurrectionists with a stroke of a pen. They found their freedom from having a police record. Mm-mm-mm. And What is the most detrimental thing he did? The tariffs. And we're about to find out in a big way. And Donald Trump really needs to stop lying to the American people about working out deals with China. When you go out there and look and do your research, China is clearly saying they have not had one single conversation with Donald Trump. And they wouldn't at this point, but they are retaliating. That's why there's hardly no ships coming in from China anymore. The docks don't have as many ships as it once used to. Okay, the Department of Education dismantling. That also happened in Donald Trump's 100 days. A lot of jobs cut in the Department of Education as well. Changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. You know, I know that's what Donald Trump did, but, whenever I see like other countries and other places talking about it, they all still call it the Gulf of Mexico. I think the only one calling it the Gulf of America is Donald Trump. I notice people from other lands, they're not calling it that at all. I mean, go figure. Go figure, y'all. So, those are just some of the things that has happened. And I'm sure there's going to be many things to come in these next 100 days down the line. And I have a feeling this next 100 days is going to be very different from the first 100 days. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.